Hi, I'm Andy from Maverick Diagnostics, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting the best out of your OEM or dealer diagnostics tool. So we're just going to go through a few points that you need to know. First of all, you are going to have to get your tool registered, and you need to be a legitimate company for the vehicle manufacturers to recognize you. Now, there's a few things going on in Europe that you've probably heard about. So we've got CERMI coming in. So CERMI is basically a security passport. Now, for people looking at this video across Europe, you'll be aware of CERMI as it's been rolling out since 2023. But people watching the video in the UK and the USA, it doesn't apply to you. So the UK is a little bit behind in CERMI, despite some organisations saying it was going to come in 24. It hasn't actually happened yet. So you still have to go through a standard registration process, which will be, you will need a VAT number, you'll probably need your passport or some form of identification, you'll probably need an ID app to go into it. And the main thing is, you're going to need a VAT registered limited company these days. So it's not for everybody to do this. And in some cases, like Ford, you may need relevant insurance. In fact, Jaguar Land Rover, I recently had to renew my application with Jaguar Land Rover. They wanted a picture of my premises, and they actually wanted my insurance documentation as well from one of my other businesses before they would actually grant any security access or access to programming software. The application process is probably only about 10% of your diagnostic journey at this point, unfortunately. So what you need to know next is you're going to have to get some suitable equipment. Once you've got suitable equipment, obviously we're going to recommend Maverick Diagnostics for this, because you'll get a bundle put together with your registration, all for one price. It delivered to site, and your on-site training to go with it. So however way you do it, if you want to buy it yourself, you want to buy the components, you want to put it all together, you want to load the software yourself, the next thing you need to know is about fees. So there are several types of fees depending on the manufacturer. So some of the more complicated manufacturers, for example, Renault, want different fees for doing different things, for different security, for different keys, for different this, for different that. The more straightforward ones, people like BMW, just want a straightforward €9 an hour fee, and that gives you access to absolutely everything. Other manufacturers want you to pay for a documentation fee. Other manufacturers want, for example, what we now call heritage Vauxhall. So it was Vauxhall Opel before PSA took over them, and vehicles pre-2021 need several different types of things. One's called SPS, which would probably cost you around £50 for 2 hours, so you can do some programming there. And then they actually have what they call a VCI fee for retrofitting as well. So it's a vastly complicated thing, but as I say, at Maverick Diagnostics, we've got all of this nailed down, and we've been doing it now for nearly 30 years. So the key is, before you get into OE tools, you need to understand a few factors. You need to understand your operating costs, your return on investments, which we've done on other videos, and we supply to every customer on request a return on investment calculator to see exactly what you're going to get back from that tool. And as I've mentioned before, we do supply training. So we have a training partnership with the Automotive Training Academy, and the Automotive Training Academy has OEM tailored courses. OEM tailored courses to help you use the software. They're usually over 2 days. When you buy the tool, we give you an initial online training to get you started, to show you how to operate the tool, to show you how to buy the time credits. We then offer a full technical support service, both for vehicle and for tool support. The tool support is absolutely invaluable. As I said at the beginning, actually getting your registration is probably only 10% of the journey. You need to carry on that journey, you need to keep your tool updated, and you need to keep being trained. Because what you do find with dealer tools is they're ever evolving. If you buy an aftermarket tool, you look at it 1 year, the next year it's exactly the same. It's had some software updates. Not very much has happened to it because it's very, very generic. With a dealer tool, unlike an aftermarket tool, it goes 100% into that vehicle with guided fault finding, with everything else. Sometimes you wake up, look at the tool, and it's completely different the next day. So at Maverick, we are basically here to help you and guide you through that process and continue those software updates. We have software update monitoring. We know when the new software's come out. So for example, if a BMW update comes out on a Friday, you go to your tool on a Monday, your tool simply won't work, because unless it's updated that day, it may cost you 4 or 5 hours work trying to update it. For £99 a month, we can keep on top of it and keep you fully subscribed to that service and keep everything updated. So by Monday morning, you get there and we're able to actually carry out the work on whatever vehicle you want to. So it's well worth factoring that cost into the price of your dealer diagnostic tool before you commit to purchasing a dealer diagnostic tool. Dealer diagnostic tool bundles, we find, are much more cost effective than anything else that we supply. We We often have people think, I'll buy a VCI and I'll actually set it up. I'll buy an interface, it'll be fine, I'll do it myself. What we always find is inevitably they come unstuck. They come unstuck in the registration because the manufacturers don't make it easy. Even with CERMI, they don't make it easy. They come unstuck with actually loading the software or the laptop spec. If you want a cost-effective solution, you buy a bundle, we help you with the registration, we give you the training, and basically we drop all this at your door and it's working. Obviously, you need other things to consider when you have dealer diagnostic tools, which is you're going to need a battery support system, because what we find with dealer tools is they like to keep it at a constant voltage. If they don't keep it at a constant voltage, they simply won't work with the vehicle. If you want to find out more about buying dealer diagnostic tools, running them efficiently, running them supported, and helping have your staff trained to make your return on investment better, please contact us at maverickdiagnostics.com.